Welcome also from my side. Hello, everybody. Thanks for having me, and thanks for having the opportunity to present something from our side. At Georg, thanks for the very insightful presentation about your lifecycle management tool. I'm happy to learn more about it and maybe to exchange how we can combine one or the other solution. So in today's
sorry, maybe one thing. Do you want to show your video as well?
I just shut it down because due to bandwidth reasons.
Yeah. Okay, then no problem.
So,
okay.
To make sure that everything works,
no
I will set it up afterwards again.
Okay.
Good. So in today's presentation, we will hear about something about relay systems, and afterwards about some challenges we see in the rail industry, and as well how we as a system supplier see them, and how we tackle them. And after all, I hope to give you a good overview about what we are delivering, what our solutions are, and how they can pay into the overall goals of the infra managers. So who we are, Voestalpine Railway Systems, we are part of Voestalpine, the technology and steel company worldwide active. And Railway Systems is one business unit out of this. We are acting globally. We have almost 70 locations on all continents. More than 7,000 people are working for us, delivering solutions all over every day. And we are divided into 4 profit centers. 4 profit centers means we have kind of competence centers, and the profit centers are divided into turnouts. So this profit center turnout deals mainly with the design and the development of turnouts. Then the other one is fixations. This includes the fastenings and the sleeper systems. The third one is the rail center, where we produce our own rails. And the last one is the signaling profit center. And this is kind of a misleading a little bit. So we are not the typical signaling company, which we providing interlocking system. No, we are basically on a second level where we provide monitoring solutions from SEAL 0 to SEAL 4, but more on that in a second. And with all these things, we are active in 4 strategic business areas. For all of them, we have specific solutions. So when it comes to mixed traffic, high speed, heavy haul, freight traffic, and of course, urban and metro systems, we have solutions which are developed for those purposes. And to give you a little bit more about our mission and vision and how we act, I've also brought a short movie about ourselves, and enjoy it. And in case of any questions, we can also discuss it later.
In a world where progress never stops, where movement is vital, and where connections pave the way for growth, there lies a dynamic and transformative force, the railway system. We believe that the future of efficient, safe, and modern railway systems can be found at the crossroads of cutting-edge technology and the limitless capabilities of the human mind. Having been a driving force inside the railway ecosystem for more than 100 years, we believe that it is our purpose to transfer this experience and leadership into the world of digitalization, software development, and data management, taking the traditional railway assets to the next level. Our solutions are based on vast amounts of data, technologies, and the holistic digitalization of critical assets to make data a relevant and intelligent management tool for creating sustainable, profitable, safe, and flexible railway ecosystems. We focus on creating solutions that look and feel alive, using the speed, flexibility, and interoperability of our ecosystem to transform traditional assets into modern digital versions that seem alive and human. We aim to lead the transformation of reactive legacy systems to proactive, predictive, and prescriptive ecosystems that enable efficient and modern management of railway tracks. Solving actual problems. Everything we do is making sure that our customers are able to create and manage the most efficient, reliable, and high-performing railways in the world in the smartest way possible. Welcome to weTHINK, the intelligent ecosystem of railway systems. Voestalpine, one step ahead.
So as you see, we have kind of an ambitious mission and vision set up for ourselves. And why we're doing this? Well, of course, there are many challenges out there. We see, you can see here some figures, facts and figures. Always nice to have if we see this. And over the past years, passenger traffic, of course, is increasing. We have ambitious goals all over the world to decrease our emissions and to move towards emission-friendly transportation systems. So, for example, Austrian Railways has a goal to double up their passenger traffic in the next 10 to 15 years. But on the flip side, you're not able to double up your tracks and your track kilometers. So this means you have somehow to manage the increased traffic on the existing tracks, and this is also something that I would say it's only possible with robust technologies and digitalization. And you see all these things which are stated here. Facing all these challenges means also we have to do something on the maintenance part. So optimizing maintenance cycles, inspection cycles to get the people off track and to decrease the unavailability and, of course, to increase the system availability. And the demographic change, of course, as well pays into this topic, as people with vast amount of knowledge are retiring, and we somehow have to prepare the next generations for the demanding challenges, and they have to know what has been done in the past and to participate and also to know to get this knowledge available. And all these things lead to, I would say, some solutions we have now in place. And usually if someone asks us, what can you deliver? How can we solve this or that problem? We can show you almost everything. So you're able to get everything what you need to operate your infrastructure from us. It starts with the sleepers, goes to the fixations, to the rails, everything what is related to setting the system, setting turnouts, and to monitor it as well, to monitor other stuff. You see here, and based on your challenges, you can also pick between different materials, different quality, whatever you need, how big your budget is, and how this pays into your strategy. Well, and when we do this, and if you've seen that, our aim is always to deliver a system, but somehow this was not possible. Every time our customers talk to us, they pick kind of, I would like to have this or that, but the whole system was never available. And this was also for us kind of a challenge. How can we ensure that we have a system in place which monitors and which gives us the availability to the possibility to monitor everything we deliver from cradle to grave. So when we produce it over the whole life cycle, and also to get more integrated solutions, embedded solutions, which means the customer doesn't have to think of some other challenges, how to get the system in place, how to get the data, the documentation, and so on and so forth. And this is where we introduced Zentrack, our digital system, I would say, which combines now all of our efforts from the past, which we have in place now. On the one part, it is asset and maintenance management. On the other part, it's infrastructure monitoring. And the last one is the rolling stock monitoring. And I'm sure some of you who are in this talk today have one or the other solution in place. It's only, I would say, a fragment of what we deliver now. So what is Zentrack all about, and what does it do? Of course, we aim to increase the capacity on track with the systems, and you will see one or the other solution in a second. Also, the availability of the asset, of course, to increase that, and that you can drive more trains, and with the existing infrastructure. It gives a prediction about maintenance optimization. When do you need to do what, based on the experience of river systems, more than 150 years of producing and maintaining assets. You can count on that. This is also, of course, served by our vast domain knowledge, which we have in place all over the world and all different business areas. And our overall claim, as I said before, is get people off track, out of the dangerous area, and increase, of course, the safety as well of the entire system. And how we do that? As I told you before, this is the solution, 3 modules. You can have a look on that later on. You can go through it. But what I would like to focus now today is more on the asset and maintenance management part, and then give you a kind of a glimpse of the infrastructure monitoring suite, where we also have now safety-related systems in place, which enable you to optimize the maintenance. And asset and maintenance management, so Zentrack Asset Management, is the basis for all of, at first, it's the basis for the entire of the systems companies. All of our companies have Zentrack Asset Management in place, meaning the whole documentation, all the factory acceptance tests, everything that comes with the with the product you bought is stored here and is accessible via the Zentrack customer portal. We will hear about that in a second. And everything is based on all the information coming from this system can be accessed by our customers. But of course, it's also accessible for service teams, for our own and for the infrastructure operators as well. So it's the first time somehow there is a system in place where operators and the producers can exchange service activities, which is in fact the case for ourselves, as we share some activities with operators. So our service teams are in charge, and the service teams of the operator are in charge for some of the assets. And now we're able to exchange this, I would say, the results, which leads to a holistic overview. Of course, you also get everything you need. So it's not only about the turnout, it's about the whole infrastructure, and we'll see that what it means. Everything is available via our dashboard. Georg showed as well one from ÖBB. This is just another representation of that. You see where the assets are located, what is their health status, and what has been done in the past. So, all the information is available. And what is for us very important as a supplier, we need to know if the assets we produced and delivered are installed correctly, and if they are used and utilized in a way it was they should be. So meaning it's never good to buy one or the other asset and to install it in a totally different area, with more loading or more stress. This of course will lead to short life cycle, and then you need to replace the asset way before you intended to. So all these things are kind of also a quality control for our customers and for ourselves as well. And if we are able to also see how this system performs, we are able to design more robust systems, which of course is a benefit for the operators as well. As I said before, you can also have the whole entire network in the system, meaning all necessary information. So it's pretty much it's similar to what Georg already showed. So it's just another way of representation. You see what is installed there. You see all the track specific information. It's here in one place available, and it's also it includes all kind of assets. So everything what is out there can be stored here, and you can also track what has been done and what needs to be done in the future. So a whole asset management system, which of course is only the start for this. I told you before something about the Zentrack customer portal and what it is about. So usually one of the things when we try to understand how a system performed, and if we see some, I would say, inconsistency in the performance of one or the other asset, the question is, when was it installed, when was it used, how was it used, how was it maintained, and when what was it produced? Well, traceability is a big question, and we started 2 or 3 years ago to serialize all our components which are prone to wear and tear, to get them so that we can trace them back when they were produced and when they were delivered and installed. So all of our assets, which, as I said, can deteriorate, have now this tag on them, data matrix code, secure and safe, which can be only accessed via a special app, which is Zentrack here. And you get all the information about when was it produced and so on and so forth. Together with that, as I told you before, there is one place coming from the producer where all the necessary information is stored. All the drawings, all the operational manuals, everything you want to have is stored in one place and accessible for the customers via our customer portal. So this means in the future there is a EU regulative coming up in 2 or 3 years where companies have to deliver this digital product passport, and this pays into this area. So we are ready for the future as well to deliver everything what is necessary and to trace the asset over the entire life cycle. And of course, data safety, security is always kind of a topic, and it's ensured through the setup, the architecture we have chosen, that only things are visible for people who are obliged to see it. So it's always a concern: who can see my data, my assets? This is secured in a secured environment, and it only provides access to the people who should have access to it. And neither we are allowed to see everything. We only can see the things which are on our side, so what has been produced. But for on the customer portal, we don't have access as well if the customer doesn't allow it. So be sure that everything we do here is also based on the regulatives, and everything is safe and secure. I think this is one of the biggest parts here, one of the critical questions when it comes to security, and I think it's a good way how we have solved it using, I would say, the big suppliers are there. I won't mention them, but there are a couple of cloud suppliers where you can store those things, and it's a very secure environment. So asset management, as I told you, is one part, but the other one is, of course, maintenance. Maintenance is definitely the biggest topic, as in terms of life cycle of an asset. So usually the production doesn't take too long, but when it's in use, it takes 20, 30, 40 years until it's scrapped. So you have to make sure that everything you do out there bases on a system which eases your life. So our solution comes up with, of course, some of our domain knowledge, so you can use it immediately. There are some checklist indications. The damage catalogs doesn't need to be configured as well. We have them as a default in there. Of course, that can be adjusted. And one of the biggest parts, as I said before, the installation history is critical, and you need to know what has been done, when who did what, and in order to be able to assess and evaluate the performance. People use this kind of tool also as a mobile application, so it's available on Android and iOS. And of course, one of the biggest part is integration into live data systems. For example, Zentrack infrastructure monitoring. So all these things are set up. You can use all the information in one place. Everything is visualized in one place, and you can access it. And the last part is, of course, you need to have reporting in place. So there are some track reports in the Swiss or in Switzerland or in Austria available. Based on that, we also have set up a system which enables you to get an overview about the entire system, providing you with the necessary KPIs you need to know, and you need to maybe to report to other stakeholders. So having said that, we have heard many things about asset and maintenance management, but what was missing, a missing link to have a integrated system, was something that allows you to replace existing maintenance and inspection regimes. Usually you go out there and on time-based sequences, and you do this or that inspection. And everything what was in place right now was what was not safety relevant. And in order to make it safety relevant, you have to put in big efforts. So you only can replace inspection and maintenance schedules if you're able to have a system in place which you can trust and which is SIL 4 approved. So when it comes, for example, point machines and point machine monitoring, how it works, you throw the switch from one to the other side, and there is always a part which allows you to detect the end position, meaning yes, you can drive, the turnout has the end position, has reached the end position, and the other one is to see how the system behaves over the time. And introducing three layers now, meaning maintain, inspect, and control, enables us to get rid of some manual tasks. People usually go outside, check the gap between the stock and the switch rail, and also have to do some checks on the point machine itself. With the new solution we have now in place, and with our object controller we have developed over the last year, we are able to get rid of these tasks, so people do not need to go outside anymore. We can stretch the maintenance cycles, and these, of course, lead immediately to an increased availability, higher safety. Higher safety means people do not need to go outside, and the risk is reduced, of course. And if you make the you can calculate it, have the figures on the table, you will also see having this in place reduces the overall life cycle costs, meaning you can count it if 2 or 3 people have to go outside every 3 months, and now you're able to stretch the maintenance cycle up to 2 years, how big this impact is. And the people which have to go outside every now and then, you can use them for other things. They have I think there are many other things to do outside which we can focus on, which needs to be done, and this is one of the parts which eases their life. And all of a sudden you have an integrated system which allows you to, I would say, influence your maintenance and your maintenance regime. And the conclusion is, if we see this turnout, you have seen the basket at the beginning of the presentation, all the things which we can deliver. And as I told you before, when we talk to customers, it's always like cherry picking, and at the end we end up with a system like this. But finally, with the efforts in the last 2 years we've put in, and solutions we have now in place, we end up with an integrated embedded system solution which enables you to manipulate and to influence your maintenance. And our system, as I told you before, consists of one part is asset control. We need to know how the switch behaved. Did we reach the end position? Replacing the manual inspections, it's the vital inspection part. And of course, having more information available over the whole turnout, which means we also monitor other non-vital parts of the turnout, which allows you to plan the maintenance accordingly. What you need to do as well, of course, you have to maintain and manage your assets, which is also possible with this solution we have in place. And on top of that, but which is not now, which hasn't been discussed today, is the rolling stock monitoring solution, but it bases as well on some of the functionalities we have seen here today. So that's it. Thank you. Looking forward to some questions.